Yes, Jurida, good to see you too. Sean, good to see you. Okay, right. In case you think today I'm very bright, it's because I have a light, a portable light. Okay. Yes. So the slides under slides plus one. William, good to see you. Yes. Can you all, send a blast of likes so that the algorithm will push to more people? Thank you. Okay. Uh, I think tonight you got to listen to my talk. I think there's too much panic in the whole market right now. I felt that I have to come out again. Usually I do a talk 2 or 3 days. I rarely give a talk one day after another, but there's just too much panic in the market right now. I got to say something. Okay, cool. Thank you. Okay. If you want to hear a message of hope, a message of calm, a message of wisdom, I hope I can give you that message tonight. Okay. So for everybody, I see my shares yesterday night nearly a heart attack. Okay, cool. I understand. GK, good evening to you too. So for those people, please, you come on board. Please give a blast of likes. Very important for the video. Okay, not for me. I always joke that wow, I know Mr. Lu need a lot of love and like. That's true as well. Okay, but not so much for that reason. It's more for algorithm sake. Oh goodness gracious. Okay. Yes. Oh man, please don't hook on me now. For some reason, on Facebook, the these few days Facebook traffic is having some wonky kind of thing. No matter how I switch to different network, yes, different network. If you have some bad experience, jump onto YouTube. Okay, my YouTube is under 1M65YT plus one. On Facebook, you can just type 1M65YT plus one and you jump over to YouTube. Okay. Yes, US before further valuation is still high. Hi, Christy, good to see you. Dave Ong. Many panic night. We need to hear from you to calm ourselves down. Calm down, ladies and gentlemen. Calm down, calm down, calm down. Okay, calm down. Okay. Yes. You wear white shirt like PAP. I assure you, PAP will not wear this kind of shirt. This is, you know what brand is this? Okay, if they're seen wearing this kind of brand, that means they're supporting premium more of Burberry. So PAP cannot be seen wearing this kind of brand. Okay. Yes, they need to see him wearing, yeah. Lena say, hello, Mr. Lu, my portfolio is bleeding. I want to faint. Calm down, calm down, calm down. You deserve it for selfish sharing. Or selfless or selfish sharing. Okay, cool. 186YT plus. Go over to YouTube, you'll get a good experience. Okay. Once you download the slides, for those people who come on YouTube, first of all, please give a like. I am sian of asking already, Okay, everybody, there are 140 of you, only 59 likes. More important is download the slides. They are all under description. Okay, I felt I have to come here tonight because it's a non-stop night after night of bloodshed. I felt that it's important for me to calm down, everybody. Okay. I like Liao once I step in. Thanks. Okay, Paul, good to see you. Thank you, Joe. Okay. Do you sleep well last night? I kid you not, I sleep extremely well. I wake up, okay, so late today. Yeah. Okay, recently, my polio down 30%. Should I DCA? Ask all these questions later. Okay, Kim Lee, good to see you. What do I plan to share tonight? Tonight will be a message of calm, okay, a bit of calm and a message of calm and let me give you a strong message, okay? Yes. Cool, okay? Once you're download the slides, let me know. Downloaded already. Okay, good to start, good to go. And then I'll ready, okay? Cool, okay? So slides plus one and the slides. I think the slides are quite good, okay? I churned them out for... the title of my slide is called calm.pp, calm.pdf, okay? Yes. All right, cool. Wait, I'm trying to... Oh, man. Okay, I'm trying to... All right, cool. Are you guys ready? Okay, shares Manjiang Hong. Okay. Yeah, calm down. Calm down, calm down, calm down. Remember, they are in this kind of market, it's very important not to panic. Okay, my son is panicking, which I'm telling you, don't panic. Come on, training young people. Yes, when pumping now 50K. Yes, great Singapore stock tonight. I think the market is up again, right? Why S&P's dropped so much? I just bought. Okay. I already given a reason again and again and again and again. I already tell you guys 2 months ago. I tell you 1 month ago. I tell you 3 months ago. I keep telling everybody why the market is going down. When will I be going to buy again? I'll be buying non-stop. Okay, but you'll be phased out. Remember, I told you all last session. Once you guys are ready, please signal to me so that I can start. Okay. So only Harry is ready. Okay, I don't see any other people ready. Yes. Okay, it's a strong message I'm delivering tonight. Okay, strong message. So far, I don't see any economists, giving that message. So I thought I'm ready to give that message. Okay, cool. Are people ready now? I think Facebook is not ready. YouTube is pretty ready. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Ready. Okay. I think download done. Okay. Yes. Let's go. Can get inverse ETF to come down. Okay. I bought yesterday. LOL. All right. Cool. All right. Good. Okay. You guys ready? Remember, blast of light non-stop, everybody. That's very important. Okay. Okay. Let's go. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining this very interesting session. Okay, the stock market has been on this bloodbath. I thought it's important that everybody put the whole thing, see the whole thing in perspective. A few months ago, I call out. I'm probably one of the first, if not the first, Singapore-based economist that call out stagflation risk. If you recall, I actually call a stagflation risk, right? There's inflation and recessionary risk. And that's pretty interesting, right? Then later, more and more people, eventually even our Prime Minister call a stagflation risk and things like that. So I think, I'm probably ahead of a lot of economists, it's not a statement of pride, okay? It's a statement that I really sensing the ground very, very far ahead, okay? And why I could sense the ground far ahead, not because I'm smarter than everybody, just because I read a lot more and I watch a lot more, okay? You guys know I walk a lot, right? I walk and exercise a lot. What do you do when I walk and exercise a lot? I listen, I talk, I call all my business leaders. I call up all the founders. I call up all the managers that I have. I sense to the ground very closely. I call on my international friends. I listen to a lot of YouTube videos. Okay, and it's, how many kilometers I walk a day? I kid you not, 12 kilometers a day. 12 kilometers a day. And what I do with these 12 kilometers, I actually spend a lot of time researching. Okay, so that's why I could sense a lot faster than the other people. Okay, yes. Mr. Lu, sorry, the other day wanted to show you I like already. Okay, cool. Okay, so I want to say that I could sense new development. Okay, so I want to send a message of peace and calm to everybody. Okay, I'm an economist. I'm not a preacher. Okay, I'm not a preacher. I'm not a pastor, or I'm not a politician. I'll never be. Okay. The slides for today, the title of it is a quite interesting title. Okay, if you download it, it's under slides +1, or in YouTube, it's under the description. It's called Calm Down, Calm Down. There's light at the end of the tunnel. Calm down, there's light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, and the disclaimer is very important. We highlight the disclaimer for everybody is that this is not an investment advice. Okay, it's not for you to buy or sell, or any. It's just education. Give a backdrop where things are. Okay, so go make sure you do all your research whatsoever, so that you understand where your decisions are. Okay, right. So yesterday was a bloodbath again. Okay, right? The market went down quite a lot. For Nasdaq and for S&P 500, both have gone down. And thank you for giving me a like. So the market has gone down quite a lot, and it is really a crash. Okay, I'll consider it really a crash. And this crash is not trivial. Okay, not trivial. So this crash is not trivial. So I don't want to trivialize it. And I was just making a pretty careless remark in my 1865 Telegram channel that day. And this, I said that, wow, so many statements about, I saw so many statements of people being very fearful, extremely fearful, writing statements that this crash will last, this blood was shed, and, we got to be careful, catch a falling knife, da, 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 da. Then just make a very casual comment and say that it's very interesting to see how much fear is there in the market now. And this gentleman, his name is Patrick Teo. Patrick Teo is a very wise man, okay, ex-Stanford as well, alumni with me. I don't know him personally, I haven't met him before, but I know he's very smart because he gave a lot of very wise comment. For those people interested in joining my YouTube and my Telegram channel, you can join 1M65YT plus 1 and 1M65TG plus 1 TG for Telegram. Anyway, so he said that, Lou, you cannot trivialize all these comments. It's because people's earnings, people's savings, maybe people's their whole life retirement are poured into this stock market, and of course you'll get frightened. And it is important for me to see in the light. Then I say, yeah, that's true. It's very, very careless of me, and very insensitive of me to kind of make comments like that. So today I will take things a bit more serious tone. I tend to hee ha ha a lot, right? Okay. So today Mr. Lou is going to take a more serious tone, but give you a message, what I think that you should not panic, and there is hope and there is light at the end of the tunnel. So today is a message of hope and light and tunnel, and I'll spend more time. There's no rush today, okay? There's no time. There's no time limit tonight. I will answer as much question as possible so that everybody will hear my message. Okay? Yes, Patrick Teo is very, very good. No, it's not that Patrick Teo is just because he's from Stanford means he's very good, but he is really very good. Okay, one of the few people make millions, already saved millions in the CPF and making a lot of money elsewhere. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is that I think he delivered a message of wisdom, and I'm going to take it. Yeah. I like Patrick Teo's message in Telegram. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, he's one of the best and wise men. Oh, those people have followed Telegram. Yes, he's really very good. So anyway, the market continued their crash yesterday, okay? And it is indeed a bloodbath, and it's continue, and to my opinion, it is very likely that it will continue, okay? Huge fluctuation. We will see interim rebound by, this kind of fear. Don't just vaporize like that unless there's a stimulus. Yeah, okay. Wise men, I wrote to in private. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Okay. Good is not measured by money alone. Yes, okay. But here we are talking about money, okay? So allow me to speculate. I'm going to speculate for once, okay? Now, speculate doesn't mean I speculate the stock market, but I speculate what's going to happen, okay? Yeah, I'll speculate what's going to happen, and let's just speculate, okay? Yeah, let's just speculate what's going to happen, okay? Let's just speculate. So this is Mr. Lou speculating, okay? And I'll give you a reason why speculation, what my speculation is, okay? Let's talk about Russia first, because the whole root, let's go back to the root of the issue. The whole world is in chaos right now because there's excess printing of money. That's called QE unlimited, quantitative easy unlimited. Then there's stimulated excessive demand. That's okay for a while, okay? Then that causes a lot of inflationary pressure. Then eventually, okay, the whole thing that really start the domino to fall was the Russian-Ukraine war, okay? So the Russian-Ukraine war, and then of course the COVID broke out in China and caused supply chain blockages, and that's collectively causes a lot of chaos. So all these are on the magic word inflation. And it's also on the word interest rates, okay? If there's just inflation without interest rate, it's not a big deal, okay? Right? If there's just inflation without interest rate rise, it's not a big deal. But policymakers, monetary central bank will have to react to inflation, and they generally increase interest rate, and interest rate rises is very bad for the market. Okay, so you understand the connection, right? So to deal with let's crystal ball and deal with what I think the future is. So therefore, I'm now speculating, okay? I'm looking at what I think is ahead. Now, anybody can disagree with me. I'm not God. I cannot see what's going to happen, okay? But let me give you why I think there's reason for you to remain calm, okay? Let's speculate. Did anybody watch what happened in Russia yesterday? Okay. Anybody who has watched Russian parade yesterday. Yesterday in Russia was a big parade. Okay, it was a 9th of May Victory Day. The victory is a victory over the Nazi Germany, the war in Nazi Germany. So in 9th of May Victory Day, they commemorate Soviet Union's victory over Nazi Germany, and we must give the Russians very interesting, a very affirmative affirmation, because they really fought and defeated the Germans. Don't forget, Germany, the West was being attacked by Allied forces. On the East is being attacked by the Soviets. The first to reach Berlin was the Russians. Okay, so the Russians were very good and very strong fighters then. And interestingly, in the war of Russia of yesterday, they included the Ukraines as well. Last time they were one big Soviet Union. And if you have watched Putin's speech, okay, you watch Putin's speech, Green Snake, I'll answer that later. Okay, let me, you said something interesting. I want to register. I read it, but I'm going to give my talk first, if you don't mind, okay? So if you watch the speech yesterday, when Putin delivered a speech, he said many things, okay? He said many things, but one of the thing he said was that, you know, they are fighting to defend themselves against the NATO forces, the threat of NATO forces to defend motherland and all this. I'm not going to argue whether that's right or wrong, okay? But one important thing is that he has signaled that he's unlikely to escalate, okay? Putin has signaled that he's unlikely to escalate, okay? And very interestingly, a lot of Western media actually wrote a lot of things. But I watched and listened to the whole speech, okay? It's very interesting. And his whole speech, Putin actually did not, a lot of people were anticipating that he would declare war, and he would escalate the whole thing, or call victory, or do something like that. He said none of those. None of those. In fact, it was a good speech, okay? Now, we may hate Putin, but he's a very good speaker, okay? His speech is very passionate, and some people call it passionate and empty. So I thought it was quite funny, okay? But it did not give a surprise. He did not escalate and is unlikely to escalate, okay? And unlikely to escalate. And that's actually good news, you know, if they don't escalate the war or did not give threat that you will escalate the war. And he said very clearly that, you know, they are fighting in the Donbas area, which is that they are fighting in the Donbas area, which is on the eastern strip of Ukraine, which is what they're doing right now, okay? So therefore, he actually signaled that he's unlikely to escalate. Don't forget, he never, in this case, he didn't give a statement, so he could have lied. There's nothing to lie because he didn't say a statement, so by definition, he cannot lie. But he did not signal that he will escalate. I consider that a good news, okay? I consider that good news. Now, interestingly, I watched another video of the ex-Prime Minister of Russia. I cannot pronounce his Russian name, okay? Ex-Prime Minister of Russia. And I got a very interesting insight, which I want to share with you, which is my next slide, okay? This is my next slide. So, in order for Putin to escalate, he needs to have mobilization of the troops. It's just like, you know, we have active troops right now, right? Or my son is in army right now. These will be active troops. In times of war, they are first to go and fight, okay? But our second line of war, we have to mobilize more troops, okay? He cannot escalate the war if he don't have mobilization. Now, if he don't in order to mobilize, he need to declare war. Listen carefully, this is where the crux is. I want you to pay extreme attention right now. Putin cannot unlikely escalate the war unless he fire nuclear or fire chemical weapons or this kind of thing. But in order to have a big invasion, he need more troops. In order to have more troops, he need to mobilize. In order to mobilize, by Russian constitution, he needs to declare war. But by the Russian constitution, he cannot declare war unless there's an invasion. Okay, unless there's an invasion, he cannot declare war and mobilize the troops. That's very interesting. Okay, but if he declares war, okay, that means that it will be an admission that he's being invaded. It's a very big xia sui thing, the loose face thing to say that now freaking small, tiny, tiny Ukraine has invaded homeland Russia. That's very, 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 face losing, right? So therefore, it is very important that it's very important for him to kind of continue his current conversation that it is. Thank you. Okay, give me a minute. It is just a special military operation. So therefore, there is some difficulty in escalating war. Can he change the constitution and declare a war? And of course he can. He's the all-powerful Putin, right? But again, there's a lot of face losing this whole thing. The biggest thing is not changing the constitution. The biggest thing is Putin losing face. That is worse than him dying, I think. Yeah, okay. Losing credibility as a leader is very, very serious. So I don't think, okay, this is again Mr. Lu speculating. I could be wrong. I'm not a political analyst, okay. This is not I say one, okay. This is the ex-prime minister of Russia say one. So any of you try to outsmart an ex-prime minister, no, I think we gotta give the ex-prime minister some faith, okay. So therefore, it is not. I don't think there's a risk of escalation. Most likely, the skirmishes already happening there will stay around there. You see, Russia has a GDP of about 3 trillion or something like that. The combined US and Europe, which is now funding Ukraine for the war, the combined GDP is 40 over trillion. How can 3 trillion fight against 40 over trillion? Yeah, this guy can send a lot of troops to die and die and die again. This guy can send non-stop missiles and weapons and howitzers and artillery whatsoever. It's not a fair fight, It's not a fair fight at all. So therefore, I don't think there's a risk of escalation unless some accident or some lines are crossed, okay? So therefore, I think more or less they will come down to some kind of stability. I wouldn't call it peace, okay? So I think there's no more escalation. Once some kind of stability is met, you'll be like Crimea. Russia conquered Crimea. Nobody ever declared peace, but they kind of, stalemate since 2014. 2014 until now, they technically still have a lot of skirmishes, but there's still kind of some kind of stability. Then life can go on, production can go on whatsoever. So anyway, I am hopeful that there's some kind of there's no escalation that will happen in the war, and some kind of stability will restore. Okay, so this is point number one. If there's some stability that will restore, what will happen? Then prices will start stabilizing, production can go on, and as a result, we have got less inflationary pressure. With less inflationary pressure, there'll be less interest rate pressure, and then the stock market won't be so bad. Okay, cool, right? So understand point number one that I'm saying. Okay, you can disagree, it's fine. You just need to hear me out. Okay, you can disagree, hear me out. For those people who agree with me, give me a like, and give me a blast. Okay, yes. So yes. So calm down. Okay, yes. Relax. Okay. Interestingly, okay, oil prices have stopped escalating already. The whole problem with the supply shock, really, the single biggest problem is oil shock. It's oil shock. The oil prices shoot up like crazy. Oil shock is gonna cost Singapore $8 billion. I didn't say that. The Prime Minister of Singapore said that. Okay? The Prime Minister of Singapore said that $8 billion, $8 billion is half our national reserves, a contribution to our budget every year. It's a huge amount of money, huge amount of money. So the oil prices, if you have seen, this is the oil index. It hit a high during somewhere during the peak of the war. Everybody got scared like crazy, and then it come down, come down, come down, come down. It's kind of, it's not going down, but it's kind of like stabilizing. Okay, stabilizing. What people are afraid is just, you know, rapid rising, and that's a good sign. That's a good sign. Okay, I give you another good sign that I saw. Okay, very few people are seeing this sign. Not seeing, not that they don't see it, they don't see the importance of it. Okay, all right. We know China is having a lot of trouble right now with their zero COVID imposed lockdown, blah blah blah, that kind of thing, right? But interestingly, Chinese economy, because they have shrunk, the demand has shrunk, they are one of the biggest consumer of oil. And the demand for oil has actually come down because of them, right? So therefore, there are headlines all over. I give you the headlines. Say, oil tumbles about 6% as China COVID lockdown waves. Oil fell as China Corona lockdown sparked demand concern. Oil prices is coming down. That's very interesting, right? So on one hand, you know, there's supply shocks and things like that. On the other hand, because the demand pulls back, as a result, the prices start to have some contractionary effect. Okay, that's very interesting. Okay, for those people who understand this, you know, please give me some signal. Say at least I understand. Okay, you may not need to agree with me, but at least you understand. Okay. So therefore, the weakness in the Chinese economy, okay, has more or less brought down one of the biggest demand for oil. Once oil prices come down, maybe Singapore don't need to spend $8 billion. Maybe just 7 or 6. Okay, maybe even less. Okay. So therefore, it is a very interesting development that's happening. Now we all know that China now imposes strict lockdown. I'm gonna block everybody. Okay, I'm gonna block everybody from going out of their house. You know, there's strict lockdown in Shanghai to some part of Beijing and some part of China. Everywhere having trouble. Blah 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 blah. Huapiang, you know. Xi Jinping has now given warning now to anybody who dare to question my zero COVID. Now I slap you, you know, the kind of signal, right? Very serious, very strong signal down there. So this one itself is not good, but today an interesting report came out. A Chinese medical expert say that the zero COVID strategy is to buy time to vaccinate more people. When was the last time you heard a narrative like that? Listen carefully. The zero COVID strategy is to buy time to vaccinate more people. This is a very important statement. It's an official medical expert from China. Who said that the last time? Okay, which country pursued this strategy? Anybody? Anybody? Which country pursued this strategy? They use a zero COVID strategy to buy time to vaccinate more people. Okay. It was which country? Singapore. Aston, you're absolutely right. It was Singapore. Our strategy then to impose circuit breakers, and I can't remember what was the name they used to kind of restrict everybody movement and things like that. Singapore was the one who say, I need to buy more time to vaccinate more people. You know what they're doing right now? They are rushing to vaccinate all the uncle and auntie and ape, ama, all the old folks. They're going to vaccinate everybody. They're rushing to do that right now. Okay? Some people say, China vaccine not so good, things like that. Okay? But it's better than no vaccine. Okay? I can assure you they may not be very good. It may or may not be very good vaccine, but we do know that the vaccination, okay, is better than no vaccination. Yes, phase 2 heightened alert. Yes, I was trying to remember it's very long. Like, you know, cannot say it, right? It's not a circuit breaker. It was a phase 2 heightened alert. In the phase 2 heightened alert, okay, it was very, very clear, okay, that it was to buy time to vaccinate more people. And once the vaccination was done, we just open up. What happened? Did people die? Yes. A lot of people died. But these deaths are, to my opinion, maybe unavoidable. Okay, in a Omicron phase is almost unavoidable. So therefore, the Chinese is signaling such approach right now, and that's a good sign. That's a good sign. Some maturity is happening right now. Okay, so it's a matter of time. They realize that as long as I vaccinate everybody, there will come a time when I bo pian. Either Omicron overrun us or we have to open up. Okay. So therefore, so it is a very important strategy they are adopting. So I see that as a good sign. Thanks, Ali. Thanks. Okay, there are 622 of you in YouTube. There's only 259 likes. Okay, 2/3 of you haven't liked. Please, okay, give a like. It will go a lot in sharing this message to other people. Okay, I want to send a message. I'll send a message of hope. Okay, yes. So therefore, okay, I think there is a very positive sign happening. So you understand my second point. For those on the second point, please give a blast of light so that I understand that you know, or at least say that I understand. Okay, you may not agree with me. Okay, remember we're all speculating. Okay, right? If you at least you understand. Give a blast of light so that you know. Okay, so let me just recall. I'm going to my third point. Okay, the first point is that Russia has signaled. Okay, Russia has signaled that that they are unlikely to escalate. Okay. Second point is that the oil prices are coming CAL and coming down. China demand for oil has come down a lot. And third is that the Chinese are beginning to recognize that it's inevitable. They are rushing. Okay, they are rushing to vaccinate everybody. Okay, so I think these are collectively very important signal in our current stock market crash. Okay, so this is the last point. It sounds like an economics lesson, but I'm going to de-chimanize it. Say it in an easy way. Say in an easy way so that y'all can understand. Okay, yes. Try understanding this. Okay. The headline is that economic shocks are self-correcting in nature. Economic shocks are self-correcting in nature. If not, mankind wouldn't have survived. Okay, let me explain. Right now, we have a supply shock. The supply shock comes from the war, comes from pandemic. There's a supply shock. The supply shock causes world supply to go down. Oil prices goes up, food and prices and goes up whatsoever. And as a result, it leads to inflation. Inflation itself, as I said, is not bad, but inflation itself, okay, is not bad for stock market, but it is bad. It is bad for, okay, it is bad for household, but it's bad when the Federal Reserve comes in and increase interest rates to reduce demand to curtail inflation. Okay, so supply shock leads to inflation. Inflation causes the Federal Reserve or central banks to increase interest rates. What does increased interest rate leads to? The increased interest rate and the supply shock now leads to recession, or at least an economic slowdown. The economic slowdown, okay, caused by all the supply shock and interest rate, okay, will lead to recession or recessionary risk. The recession, when happen, means that all of us kena hit by recession. What's the first thing you do when you have recession risk? You stop buying. You stop buying. You buy cheaper things. You cut down on your buying, cut down on spending. Don't spend on big cars. Don't spend on big house. Okay, eat less expensive. Excuse me, eat less expensive. Travel less. Wear less expensive clothes. And things like that. Yeah, eat more chai peng, go less to restaurant and things like that. Okay, collectively a slower cut down in demand, okay, leads to a cooling down of inflation. When inflation is being cooled down, what happens? The Federal Reserve will suddenly find that, maybe I don't need to increase my interest rate by so much. I don't even need to increase my interest rate at all. Okay, so therefore, with that happening, when the interest rate increase goes away, the stock market recovers. Okay, one more time. There are a lot of connections, but I want to connect the dots for you. This is what we call the economic shocks are self-correcting. These are all in economic textbooks, not just Mr. Lu coming up with some bright idea. Okay, supply shock leads to inflation. Inflation leads to interest rate rises. Interest rate rises together with supply shock leads to recession. Recession cuts down on demand, or it cuts down on spending. Therefore, it cools down inflation. When inflation cools down, interest rate goes down. Stock market recovers. All these are what we call a self-correcting mechanism. Okay, if you think I'm blowing hot air, watch all this. You can Google the word recession risk. I can only paste 3 of them here. All of these articles are talking about recession coming, recession coming, recession coming, recession coming, recession coming. Recession is coming. When I see this, I laugh. The more this kind of news come out, what will happen? What will you do when you see this kind of news? Someone please tell me. When you see news like this come out, hey, this is not me saying, this is economists say, Goldman Sachs say, economists say, Wall Street, I don't know which article is this news. All this comes out. See what it's not me saying only, Yeah. All right. Recession risks are rising. So if you are this gentleman, okay, if you are this gentleman, and who is this gentleman? This is arguably the most powerful man in the world right now. His name is Jerome Powell. Jerome Powell says, oh gosh, Jerome Powell. Okay, those on Facebook, please jump over to YouTube. Okay, it keeps dying. I don't know why I keep hanging. Okay, jump over to YouTube 1865 channel there. Okay, 186 YT plus 1. The ending is very important. Okay, so therefore the recession risk right now is rising. Then the Federal Reserve said, "What if I increase my interest rate a lot more to fight inflation? Maybe there's no need anymore. The interest rate rises need not to be so hawkish. I don't increase the interest rate by so much anymore because the whole world is now having this recession fear. Everybody cut down their spending. Guess what? When everybody cut down their spending, then the demand goes down and the inflation risk goes down. Then, therefore, it is a good sign for the stock market. Okay, a good sign for stock market. So, can you see the whole linkages? Therefore, is there reason to believe that all this peace will eventually, come to place? But between now to that day, when people start realizing this in a way that will move market, it will take some time and the market can continue to fluctuate. And the fluctuation can be fierce and phenomenal. So therefore, avoid those things that can hit right at the bottom. Because when it hit right at the bottom, it becomes zero, there's nothing. What can hit right at the bottom? Speculative asset, leverage asset, options, futures, okay, and so on, right? So therefore, in things like that, what happens? You try to go for assets that have volatility, but they will always compound, okay? You always compound. So therefore, it is a very interesting thing, between, I got this very interesting message here, okay? On top is calm, below is panic. In my years of stock market experience, I realized that when panic switched to calm, it's not a gradual process, It's sudden and pam. Yeah. I see that happening many times, okay? A lot of times it's just boom. And then we start shocked and then we go stunned and then in a few weeks time, the market rise up so much that we completely miss the boat. How many of you have seen that during the April 2020 stock market crash and stock market rebound? It's fierce. Okay? So what I'm doing, I didn't tell you all to do. What I'm doing is that I'm continuing to buy in, okay, nibble a bit at a time. This Kate Lu, without my any advice or guidance, has actually gone into S&P 500. I actually said good. Okay, I'm very proud of her. My son has decided to come out of some leverage asset. I also think is good. Okay, come out leverage asset is, I think leverage asset is quite dangerous. After this, if I look at the market and it's worthwhile, maybe I'll start going into some of the S&P 500 or TQQQ. I haven't seen yet, but I think it is important for us to see why I think, okay, eventually there'll be some kind of stability. Our difficulty is right now trying to tahan the fear of this turbulence and eventually, catch the recovery. You will not be able, I say again, you will not be able to catch the lowest point unless you are God or unless you are lucky. Okay? And you're neither God, and I don't know whether you're lucky, but I'm rarely lucky. So therefore, what I do is I buy on the dips and then maybe on the rise. In the case of 2020, I bought more on the rise, and it's okay. Here I started buying already a bit. Okay, yes, so therefore I tend to kind of spread it out. The strategy I've already described what I'm gonna do in my YouTube video. So for those people, 764 of you and half of you have not given a like, please give a like, then click follow and subscribe to my channel. Then you'll be able to watch some of my other YouTube videos. The one I gave before describe the strategy that I've gone to invest. Okay, yes, okay. So let me just bring everybody back to light again. Why I think there is light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, and this is again Mr. Lu's speculation. Mr. Lu's speculation could be wrong. Okay, but let's see whether we're wrong. Okay, number one is that Putin has signaled that he's unlikely to escalate. Okay, number two is that oil prices has stopped escalating largely because China demand has gone down. China has started to signal that maybe the strategy eventually is to open up. The most important thing is that economic shocks are self-correcting in nature. Supply shock will lead to inflation. Inflation lead to our current situation of a high rise in interest rate and possibly more rise in interest rate. But these kind of shocks also lead to recession and recessionary fears. Recessionary fears cools down demand and therefore bring down inflation and therefore bring down interest rates. The collection of all these are light at the end of the tunnel, and I hope tonight I give you a strong message that despite all this huge turbulence and fear that are happening right now, there is light at the end of the tunnel. I'm not telling what to do. I'm demonstrating by example. I'm buying. And I'm buying. Okay? Cool? I hope tonight message is clear to everybody what I'm doing. And I hope I send a strong message of hope, strong message of calm, strong message of facts, okay? And therefore, I would like everybody, to give me some of the questions right now, okay? And please, those on YouTube, like, okay? Come, all right, let's shoot, okay? Tammy Tay, all logical. What about the labor shortage element in the entire mix consideration? The labor shortage right now labor shortages happen for two reasons. Number one, in our part of the world, a lot of the labor shortages because we do not allow foreign workers to come in. This not just happened in Singapore, also in Malaysia and in a lot of parts of Southeast Asia. The place with cheap laborers are not allowed to come in because they were protective of the jobs of the local economy, and they were worried about COVID. Now this part is gradually being relaxed, so eventually it all come back. Okay, yes, and that, by the way, is the same for a lot of countries. YouTube, can you do one like? Oh, asked for is one like in YouTube, and there are half of them haven't given a like. Yep. What's the next question that you have? Is QE really so good? I think QE actually saved the world from the pandemic at that juncture. Okay, But I think on hindsight, of course, perfect sight. I think it's probably a bit overdone. When will you buy T triple Q? T triple Q is a leverage index. It's too dangerous. I will not comment on buying leverage index, other than saying that an average person should not buy T triple Q. Okay. When can I start buying Amazon? I don't like to pick stocks. I don't think. I would say that 99% of people don't 99% of people are not in a position to stock pick. I rarely stock pick, okay? So I don't encourage people to stock pick. Mr. Lu, how come so-called solid stocks like Amazon are trading like meme stock minus 15%? Because a lot of the so-called solid stocks are tech stocks. Tech stocks, their earnings are futuristic. When the interest rate rises, the discounted cash flow of these earnings get hit a lot by interest rate rises. Okay, so those people who projected earnings are hit a lot more by interest rate rises. Are you adding more position in NASDAQ looking at current year to drop? I soon will. Okay, I'm 20 years old. What's the best way to work towards financial freedom? Watch all my YouTube video. Okay, there are sequential steps for you to do. What is my portfolio consist of? I've described many times what my portfolio consists of. Many times, countless, hundreds of thousands of times. Right. The most basic one is to build a CPF layer, then add on to different layers of different layers of a globally diversified index, and finally on top of those, then I do the dangerous ones. Okay. I don't believe you can. I don't know how to buy oil. I don't know anything about oil enough to buy, so I would rather not touch. Marry a rich spouse, bear way for freedom. Okay, okay, well, okay. In the light of the tunnel, interest rate may not hike as we feared earlier. Fixed mortgages may not be fixed mortgages may not be favorable now. I can't tell, because I think right now whether fixed or variable mortgage rates are actually kind of even out in the long run. Yes. Would it be a good time for job seekers in view the PM say recession is coming for next 2 years? Quickly get yourself a job and get yourself a few jobs. So I think I'm not so sure for sure recession will come. It's possible. I'm not so sure recession will come. I don't think Endowus or QQQ. Endowus is not a stock broker. Okay. Well, okay. There's some comments here. Can buy SG Bank stocks now? I'm not a believer of buying Singapore stocks. Okay, commodity stocks. Let me say again, anybody who ask me question, can I buy this stock, this nature, so I only believe in buying a broad-based index. First, I only believe in building a safety net foundation, okay, using a CPF, and I don't believe that the average investor can stock pick. No chance. Okay, as a trained economist, as a quite a professional investor, and an investor of many businesses, I have no way I can tell how these stocks are moving. I don't see why the average investor can. Maybe all of you are smarter than me. Okay, cool. Someone asked a few questions there. Mr. Lu can share a bit of view in China market in 6 months. I believe in the Chinese economy. I don't believe in the Chinese stock market. The Chinese stock market has a lot of fraud. There's a lot of misrepresentation of account and whatsoever. I don't think I need to lose sleep over it. Will you buy RSP, TR, Invesco, S&P 5 equal weight? I'll try to mirror the S&P 500 as it is without any bastardization. Okay. Do I think freehold property will be on a downward trend? I can't tell. No, I can't tell anything about property. It's a lot of policy related thing, and it's very difficult to tell. Okay. Can you answer Green Snake earlier question? Green Snake, can you ask a question again? I can't tell. I don't know what's the earlier question on Adam Khoo, because the questions start flying. YouTube here I cannot see very clearly. Do you think USD will hit above 140? Possible. Okay, I think it's possible. I think it's 138, 139 right now. When I was studying in US 10 years ago, it was 122. No? Can you believe it? Mr. Lu is buying top holdings of a broad-based index, considering stock picking, like buying Apple, Google. I prefer to buy the entire index as broad as possible. My S&P 500 has 500 stocks inside. So I think I'm more into that kind of spread. NASDAQ 100 stocks. How many 100 stocks can you buy? Right? So Have you been buying the dips like this week? This week I didn't go in. I might. Is it increasing interest rate the only way to stop inflation? To stop inflation, there are supply side, moves that can stop inflation, and demand side moves that can stop inflation. The demand side is driven by, this sounds like economic lesson. Demand side can be driven by fiscal policy, monetary policy. So monetary policy by increasing interest rate, fiscal policy by cutting subsidies and increasing taxes, which is very unacceptable. Okay, and supply side is increased supply. Green Snake, my earlier question, Mr. Adam Khoo says when inflation rises, the stock market always rises according to past history. Usually the stock market falls before the war, but when the war starts, it goes going up. I believe in what he says. I really believe in what he says. So that when the interest rate rises, okay, eventually, you think about it. Okay, why I say I believe what he said. When interest rate rise, who is a businessman here, an entrepreneur? When interest rate rise, all the entrepreneurs, all the businessmen will go all out to suck the blood out of as possible. Because when inflation rises, all the entrepreneurs will try to produce more, okay, and take advantage of the high prices. Why would they not do that? When they take advantage of all the prices, what happens? They make more profits as much as they can. Of course, their costs also rise, right? But they will try to take advantage of an increase in prices as much as they can, right? And when that happens, what happens? Then the profits of the company goes up, and eventually the profits goes up, the stock market goes up. You know, that's another thing. Most war tend to increase a lot in economic activity, especially the US war war industries benefited tremendously, right? So when that happened, then there's some upside to it, okay? Some other questions. 33 millionaire CA all max, SA MA all maxed out. HDB bought a 70% loan. Where should I park my money for age? I can't tell you what you should do, but what you should do is to think about your spread of asset. Some part of it in stocks, some part of it in shares, some part is bonds, some part in CPS, some part in property. Spread it all out, okay? And see which one you are most underrepresented, okay? I'm trying to catch all the questions. We are running very fast. Is it a waste of money to buy a standalone critical illness term insurance plan at mid-40? In end of June, I'm inviting a speaker. She's from the dark side. Okay, she's from the dark side. That day, Money Hour, who talk about insurance from the Jedi side. She's from the dark side. She's from the insurance selling side. But she runs a company that collectively gather all the insurance companies. He sells all types of insurance. Okay, she's going to give you a balanced view on that. I thought what she shared was very smart. She'll answer the question. Oh, by the way, let me make an announcement. Since there are about 1,000 people of you right now, this Saturday afternoon, 2 to 4, I'm inviting Christopher Tan, CEO of Provident. Provident is one of the best fund management company in Singapore. They only manage funds for the Sibei rich people. But Christopher Tan is a very good man. He wrote a lot of articles, speak a lot, and he's coming to our channel. We're very honored to have him. He will come and deliver his perspective of this current market situation. Okay, I encourage all you to listen to him. Okay, he's a man far smarter than I am. Okay, far smarter than him, and I have invited him. He has kindly accepted my invitation. Okay, and you will speak to everybody, and you can ask him all the questions. Cool. All right. Okay. So please, this Saturday, join me at about 2 to 4. Christopher Tan, CEO of Provident, very good man. Mr. Lu, do you think South Korea, Sweden, Finland propose to join NATO will shock the stock market? Keep seeing news of this. Yes, I think there's some threat of that happening. Okay, but I don't think that Russia have any stomach to take on another country. Okay, I don't think so. Okay, so what time is the sharing? I think it's about 2 to 4. Yes, I'll send out a message. You'll look out for it. Okay, especially in the one, go to my 1M65 TG plus 1, 165 TG plus 1, and keep a lookout for it. Okay, Singapore join NATO. Singapore will join NATO. Always mine. too small a country to be siding anybody. In fact, Singapore today sent a message out. I think it's that, you know, we don't want to make enemies out of you, Russia. You know, we just trying to send a signal. We're not enemies. We're still friends, kind of thing. Yeah. Any idea when the recession start? When? If I know, I'll be God. Okay. CPF FRS 3.5% per year from next year onwards. Who says so? Okay, Pikachu, I don't know anybody. I don't know why you say it's 3.5% from next year. I don't know why is that. Okay. Ming Chao Ding Dong. Okay. Thanks, Oranges. I'm Asian chill I'm not racist. Okay. Yes. Do you think Russia will win? It depends on what you think, what you define by win. If win means they stay in the strip and the Donbass area, yeah, possible they can win, but I'm not a politician, I can't tell. Okay? Yeah. Okay. Okay, that's a funny comment. What do you do on money for the next 3 months? I cannot tell what I should do. I'm holding on and I slowly unload into the stock market. That's what I'm doing. What's the SG interest rate linked to the? Why is SG interest rate linked to the Fed? We are so open. We're an open economy. All our interest rates are all interlinked together. Okay, are all interlinked together. We cannot escape. Right? When our global interest rate goes up, our interest rate will go up. Okay, yes. Okay. US or which individual stock do you have in my portfolio? I do have some individual stocks, but I run based on the algorithm. Okay, I base on algorithm. It's kind of complicated. That's why I didn't want to share. So the algorithm, we pump it through algorithm, and the algorithm will spit out, say these are the 10 stocks you need to buy, and a certain time you need to sell. This kind of machine-driven kind of algorithm. You know, that's very complicated. I choose not to talk about it. Okay. And so on, because those you can make a lot of money, you can lose a lot of money. So, you know, just go simple. What dangerous stuff do I invest in? I have leverage ETFs. I've got lots of quite a few startup investments, businesses I invested in. And still, I don't know why people still keep thinking that me and B have only this company called Premium Mall. Okay, in fact, Premium Mall, I don't even have a single share in it. You know, it's actually all B's company. I'm just helping her, working for her in that company. I do have a company I'm very proud of. The name is called Access Digital. Okay, and we run digital advertising for people. I'm the chairman of the company, and you know, plus I do have a few other investments that I am. The reason why I say this is that you know, these are the more higher risk ones. Okay, and these are the ones that I've actually put more money into it. What's your opinion on USD? Any sign will come down? USD with respect to which currency? USD with respect to Sing dollar, or USD with respect to Euro, or USD or whatever? It's a very different story altogether. Singapore dollar is appreciating. It's deliberate policy of MAS to fight inflation. Okay, so the US dollar is rising. It is true. Okay, it's rising. Respect the Sing dollar, I think it's a lot of people taking a safe position in US. Okay, where am I doing another entrepreneurial talk? The last time I did, there's no listeners. Very few people are interested in this talk. So I decided that if I'll keep on to my life talking about entrepreneurial things only to entrepreneurs. Singtel very bullish, heading to 290. From where it come from, 290 is bullish. You must be kidding, right? It's crashed from $4 to what it is from pittance, right? Right. So I'm not so sure whether it's you consider bullish. Okay, but certainly the new CEO has seems to push it high. What's your strategy when it comes to leverage investment? I cannot share. The minute I share, a lot of people get it wrong and they're going to lose some money. I won't share in a message in a broadcast like this. If I'm jobless, can you help me find a job? What's so difficult finding a job right now in Singapore? All the employers now are fighting very hard to find good people to hire. I put up an app position, you know, I'll be happy if I get 10 applicants for me to choose from. Of 10 applicants, 8 are foreigners. Okay, very difficult to get Singaporeans right now, good Singaporeans, right? So if you cannot find a job, there's only one reason, okay? Then 1 or 2 reasons, right? Number 1, you're not skilled enough, okay? You're not highly skilled enough, okay? And therefore, you should upskill yourself, okay? Second thing is that you're not finding hard enough. It cannot be, okay? It cannot be. To all my companies, you know, all my companies have so much trouble to find good people. Mr. Lu, do you think it's wise to read investment websites such as Motley Fool, listen to Jim Cramer, all this? He mentioned time to buy. Yes, I think it is. I think it's good to. I think it's good to. It's good to do that. You know, I will not share anything about my leverage ETF strategy. Okay. Um, okay. There is a wage spiral right now. Wage price spiral right now in Singapore. I'm not so sure whether there is, but in time to come, if the inflation is not cut, is curtailed. Yes, I think there will be. If Singapore cost too high, not skill, yes, need upgrade. You got to upgrade your skill. Mr. Lu at 49 plus years old is still upgrading himself in big data, okay, social media marketing, okay. In fact, I'm going to Israel this weekend, okay, to pursue a big data pursue a big data business, okay. And data analytics business, you know, if at 49, 50 years old I'm doing that now, if you tell me you cannot find a job, there's only one reason. I'm not going to say it, okay. Come on, if I can do it, you can do it. Just keep upgrading yourself. Yes, I'm an agile PM with data visualization in PBI. Excellent. Okay, yeah, all right. There's a lot of things on machine learning, and so on that we all need to upskill ourselves. For young people, it's very easy. For old people like us, piang is damn difficult. But the harder it is, the more we have to do it. It's life. Lee Kuan Yew learned how to use a computer in 70s. My father learned how to type in Chinese when he was 70s. We don't have an excuse not to upskill yourself, okay? You still nibbling in, are you investing in cash or CPF? I just described it yesterday in my strategy. Go watch my video yesterday. I'm with Mr. Lu, I no need panic. There's been a lockdown, this is the point, okay? Are you going to Israel after a talk with Christopher? Yes, okay? I'm going to this weekend. Okay, I'm in my 50s. I'm 50, so you got to upskill yourself. You got to upskill yourself. You got to upskill yourself. Fortunately, there's a lot of government courses there that goes for skill training. Okay, what investment do you look at? You know, if you just go, I would actually just, you know, for basics, just go for myself. I just go for S&P 500 and yeah, S&P 500 and S&P 500 and S&P 500 and Nasdaq. Okay, yes, that's what I do. Okay, someone asked a very important question just now. Vanguard has top 8 companies on S&P, right? Do you think S&P 500 have 500 companies there? How to mirror? Mr. Lu, do you think the current market climate of crash every day 3-4% is worse than one shot one day 20% cause a circuit breaker? Well, I cannot compare, but it continue to fall, therefore continue to nibble. You know, if it's crash, then no. This time around, it's I have a nibbling strategy. Yesterday, I have a sharing session too. Yes, it's on my YouTube. That's why I tell people in Facebook, go and sign up my YouTube channel. There are 752 of them, although only 438 stingily. The rest of people stingy don't give a like. Okay, so therefore, sign up to my YouTube channel there. You can type 1865YT+1 and hit subscribe. When the things go there, you know, you can get the message there. Okay, yeah. Okay, so wait. Okay, what's your view on SEA Limited shares drop drastically? Shopee, again, these are stock picking. Stock picking is dangerous. Okay, it's dangerous. Please don't stock pick. Okay, try not to stock pick. It's dangerous. Okay, yeah. YouTube never give you alert. Okay, make sure you click the bell and hit subscribe, then you give you alert. My hubby is stable in his job, not much job work on increment, got lots of job offer but need to work overtime weekend, sure jump ship. I don't know. The first question where everybody asks me whether they jump ship, the first question I ask them back is, do you have passion over the job? If you have passion over the job, then it's okay. Okay, yeah. You don't have passion in the job, whether pay is high or not, you should jump ship. That's my opinion. Okay. Okay, when retiring, stop selling. Okay, when do you start selling S&P 500? Yeah, when I need money after I retire, a long time to come. You have slimmed down considerably. Thank you. Good luck. Okay, Christina Ang. Okay, you see me when I was plump. Okay, Mr. Lu, someone say a very interesting comment. Malaysia can help us reduce expenses. Do you think buying a retirement house there is a good choice? I think so. If you can afford to stay away from your family, if your family is over there, and I think retiring in a cheap place is good. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. Do you think it's better diversify Asia market? Let's put it that way. If you want a market that's stable, won't drop, won't go up, won't drop, won't go up, that kind of thing, then Asia market, Singapore market is very good. We see, that kind of thing, right? That's fine. I think I like a growth market. Okay. Yep. Someone asked me what's my net worth. You must be out of your freaking mind to think that I will actually tell you my net worth. Who ever say that? Yeah. Okay. 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 I'm a millionaire. That's it. Yeah. I got $1 million in my CPF combined. That's it. Okay. Yeah. Is 5 years considered long-term investment? No, not at all. 10, 20, 30 years. That's considered long-term. Okay. Yeah. I plan for retirement, got a house there. Wonderful. Okay. Wonderful. Which part of Malaysia? Okay. I love Malaysia. Okay. I love Malaysia. I hate going to Europe because I'm so sian of going there. I wish that one day BE will find a way to find another interesting business so that I don't need to travel so much. Government scholarship. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay. Wow, tonight I talked quite long already. Okay. I hope that tonight I bring a message. Okay. I'll bring a message of calm, steady. Okay. Give you light at the end of tunnel kind of message. The market will continue to be highly volatile, continue to have all this fluctuation, uncertainty, even dips along the way. Okay. Do not panic. Okay. Do not panic. Right. If your message, if your strategy is one that is like mine, okay, I don't see why we need to panic. Okay. Cool. Right. Good. So I hope that tonight is a message that I deliver that is good for everybody. And with that, I wish that y'all will stay calm. Okay. Stay calm and not to panic. And just stay calm and not panic, and just take a look at what I do. Okay. Cool. Okay. Wow, got it fully renovated. Oh, excellent. Okay. All right, good. Okay. If this is okay, let's have a good night. Okay. Good night. Okay. And we'll see you in 1 or 2 days time. Okay. Yes. Okay. So for everybody, thank you for joining us. There's close to 1,000 people tonight. Okay. Yeah, you should appear often so that people won't panic. Okay, relax. Okay, I know. Okay, not panicking. Okay, that's great. Okay, good night, everybody. Good night, really good night. Okay, good night, everybody. Okay, good night. Okay, yes, I should crack more jokes. Mr. Wu is actually not so serious. But tonight is a more serious message. Okay, I'm very good in cracking jokes, right? Okay, and get Kate Lu to sing some songs to serenade everybody. Okay, yeah. So I want everybody to stay calm. Okay, cool. All right, good night. Good night, everybody. Okay, Henry, Andrea, Dennis. Okay, Gilberto, Astrid. Okay, Alfred. Okay, good night to you. Yes, I live in Toguan too. Yes, I live there too. Wow, wonderful. If you see me come, if you see me in Singapore, come and say hi. Okay. Funny, he tells buy index, I buy individual stocks. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Okay. Yes. Important, don't dump all you do in one go. Okay. Yes. Cheryl, good night. Josephine, good night. Langang, good night to you. Yes. Cheryl, good night. Okay. Okay. Sharon, good night to you too. Kati, good night. Okay. Derek, good night to you too. Okay. PK, good night. Wilfrey, good night to you. Okay. Yumi, good night. Okay. Yes, good night. Angela, good night. Okay. Thank you. Okay. If you ever meet me in the streets, come and say hi to me. Really, I don't spend a lot of time in Singapore. When I do spend in Singapore, you see me, come and say hi to me. I'll be very, very, very happy to meet you. Okay, just to say hi. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yep. Okay. So good night, everybody. Yes. Yes, good night to everybody. Okay, Janice and Harry and Tammy, good night to you. Okay, Christina, good night to you too. Julie, good night. Okay. Yes, MK, good night to you. Okay, any good night to you. Okay, house loan should go a fix or Sora. It's a bit too late. There's it's about the same right now, I would think. Okay, good night, Wang Wei, Pei Chun, good night. Siu Ling, good night. Marian, good night to you too. Okay, yes, come and take a photo of me if you do see me. Okay, I'm happy to take a photo with me and B. Okay, but we're usually around together. Okay, yes. Okay, even with Kate Lu and so on. Yes, yeah, we are actually very approachable people. Okay, yes. Harmony, good night to you. Okay, good night. Okay, good night. I'm Ting. Okay, Bilen, good night. Okay, Risa, good night. Okay, Risa, good night to you. Bilen, good night to you. Okay, 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 cool. All right, good. Okay, good night to you. Facebook, I'm gonna sign off like right now. Okay, good night, Jen. Okay, Audrey, good night to you too. Okay, I'm gonna sign off like right now. All right, okay, okay, all right, good. Okay, so for those in okay, for those in on YouTube, thanks for signing in. I'm gonna log off like right now. Okay,